Language and language overall in Europe and how they've been utilized and how they are utilized today. Language is an imposition on a human. We sort of like, in my opinion, remember this is my observations. In my opinion, we born with our brain conditioned to having a specific sound, a specific language, the way our biology is made, the way you position your lips, like in English they pull the your lips back like so, and Southern European languages they do not. African language they do not. If you observe me, I very rarely I pull back on my face. Um, so it's an imposition, and is condition. It's a condition reflex. Um, they is utilized as a weapon. As a weapon. For example, right now, everyone is conditioned to believe the language or European languages, or so-called romantic languages, are based on Latin from Latina, Latium, Peninsula Italica. But that is not my observation. Since I was born, that is what they will have say to me. They told me that since the day I was born, and of course I grew up out of being conditioned, and now I am analyzing everything that I see around me as I live my life. And my observation is the following: I understand Latin very little, very little, but I can understand every other language in the continent, in the European continent, from the very word Europa. Europa is a Greek word, or Helen. Helen is very close to the Castilian language, extremely close. If you analyze the sounds, it's extremely close to it, and all these sounds are very close. I'm going to give you an example that is in the English language or Anglo-Saxon. Ejemplo is in Castilian. Ejemplare is in Italian, and so on. If you today speaking English, if you speak English or speak any European languages from the west of Europe and all the way to Russia, if you go on any city, any subway, any train station or whatever, and you sound this sound, atención, atención, everyone is going to look at you because it is the same in English, in French, in Italian, and everywhere else. If you say attention, it means attention, attention, attenzione, and so on. Everyone is going to look at you. Another example that I like to use is bellum. Bellum. It means war, war. But in every other language is guerra, guerra. So that is my observation. My observation is that we do not speak Latin. So they're telling you something crazy like Bulgar, Latin, Bulgar Latin, Bulgar Latin. It means there is that is from the people's Latin, from people uneducated. But a language is a language. A language is no two or three different sizes of languages. Is a commune, community, comuna, comunidad sounds. Basically, that you cannot change it. To change it, you have to have a purpose, and these changes are not being made by the community. It's being made by the leaders, whoever is teaching the community, whoever is leading the community. And I am one example of that. My natural language is Castilian, but not quite, because my father, they came from northern Europe, and they do not speak Castilian. They speak the Gothic sounds. On my grandmother's side, they came from Africa, from the Canary Islands, Wanchos, and they do not speak Castilian, and they were forced to speak Castilian or to speak a variation of that. And I'm today living in the United States of America, and I am being forced to speak English. The same is the people of the United States of America, all of them. They've been forced by force now to speak the English language. For example, the Navajo, the Mascalero, the Apaches, the people from Arizona, from California, they spoke native languages since God created this planet. And then they spoke Castilian until the English forced them to speak English. They put them in concentration camps and so on. The same is the French. The same experiences the French have. For example, I am right now in Carrollton, Kentucky. But 200 years ago, it was called Williamsport. But Williams is a made-up name. It is Guillermo. So as you see, it went from Guillermo to Williamsport to Carrollton. And who changed the name? Not the population. The name is changed by the leadership. That is why they do not speak French right here in Kentucky. They did before, and you see the symbols in their shield, the fleur de lis in their shield. But today they've been forced to speak English, so they have a very distinct accent. The same is the Aztecas and the Mayas in the United States of Mexico, in the Incas in Peru. So sound is an imposition. Sound is something that is given to the human. It's assigned to the human, and it takes generations to shape it. But it is not shaped by the community. It is shaped by the leadership, and that is why we have the Royal Spanish Academy. The names are erroneous, and that is the key. The key is that they create these terminologies to control you, to confuse you, to make you part of an identity they are creating for you. That is the reason that they fight so hard to tell you that you are Latin and that you are Hispanic and that you speak Spanish. But when you start walking the earth and just speak to an Italian, and then you realize, hey, wait a minute, these Italians are actually Germans. And why they call Mussolini the Dutch? Why they call the the king of the Lombardos, Dash, why they call the king of Venice the Dash. Why it's called Dash land? Well, because they are the same people moving over that region. They are the same people utilizing the same languages. So the Visigoth enter the Italic peninsula and conquer it. At the same time, enter the Iberian Peninsula and conquer it. And it took what 1,000 years for them to become something else. And those people created a new identity, and to do that, they utilize the church, they utilize God, and they utilize the church to educate the people, and the people will was forced to learn this new language. And you see this all the way to right now. It's having nothing changed. As far as the end of World War II, Franco made illegal the Celtic languages and the native languages. You see, he made it illegal, and that is purposely, the leadership purposely manipulates sound. For example, LBGT. Now they on television they say LBGT plus minus or something like that, and the reality is just letters. Gay, that terminology, gay, that always being utilized as happy. Go and look at the old movies in the 1920s and 30s. They will call you gay. Everybody was calling each other gay, not in the term in the manipulation of the sound of today, but gay just mean happy. But if you accept it, if you accept that imposition, you become that, and you will defend it. And when somebody tell you, hey, listen, they're confusing you, you will defend it. It's a natural human behavior. You will defend what you have accepted. It is that simple. So Castilian is not a Latin language. It's not even close to Latin. I want you guys to prove me erroneous and prove my observations erroneous. But my observations are correct. When I walk the El Camino de Santiago, or the way of St. Andrews, you can see how the movement of humanity and science have moved throughout Europe, and these are not based in Latin. These are based on native people, native languages from many tribes. The pure Latin language is spoken today in the Vatican. You have to understand that the Vatican was a country for a very long time, and today they reduced to the smallest nation in the world, I believe, a very reduced amount of people, but they continue to utilize Latin, pure Latin. So all that idea of vulgar Latin and crazy Latin, that is all created, in my opinion. I don't see the relation. What I do see is the relation of the tribes conquering the Romans and becoming something else. And that evolution for thousands of years of leaders forcing language on the population, and that include myself, to make them something else. But we have the opportunity right now, never seen before in humanity, and it is called communication. we can communicate freely. And this is the beginning of something beautiful. That we can communicate our vision, our experiences to others, and ask others to prove us erroneous, to prove us erroneous. Prove to me that my father was not from Olivenza, Spain. Prove to me that my grandmother was not from Santa Cruz de la Palma, Canary Islands. Uh, Prove to me the ejemplo is not from the Visigoth sounds, the Visigoth language. Prove to me the attention is Latin. I don't think so. Prove to me the guerra is Latin. Vulgar, no vulgar, whatever. That is impossible because it's not even close. And we know what it is. We know that it is parabellum, for war, para la guerra, parabellum, for war. Now, analyze this. English is not the same the all the rest of the European sounds. In English is war. And in the rest of the, I call them Visigothic languages, that's what I call it, is guerra. And in Latin, from Latina, Latium, the Romans are from Latina, Latium, Peninsula Italica, Italic Peninsula, is called bellum. So analyze that. How come the guerra is is utilized the most by the most people and not bellum? So that is where I base my observations. Our language, the Castilian language, and the English language are not based in Latin. They do have a connection because the church was utilized to transfer knowledge, and the church, the Vatican, until today, they speak Latin. So they did utilize the way they write the alphabet to transfer that sound, to transfer that knowledge to the rest of the population. So it was imposed on the population. It was not acquired by the population or modified by the population. No, it was imposed. It was taught or it was teach to the population. So that is my experience with languages. Today I cannot speak Castilian purely, no English, no any other language, and that is the reason. The reason is that since the day I was born, a sound was imposed to me. And you see today Cuba, how they speak, the language is completely destroyed. And you see the people in Peru and so on, their Castilian language is no longer pure. And it's done purposely. It's done purposely to separate the people from the American continent from the people from the Iberia Peninsula. They know that if they learn the language like is taught in the peninsula, in the Iberian Peninsula, they will be completely devastated. They will be their identity will disappear. They will become us, and I think that is erroneous because we are the majority, and eventually that will come to pass because we have information. I can tell you, I can look in your eyes and say, you are erroneous. And you can kick and scream, and you can cry, and you can fight, and you can do whatever, and you can deny it, and you can attack, and you can censor. But the reality is, when you walk El Camino de Santiago, the way of St. Andrews, you see in every stone, you see it in every written paper, you see it in every building, you see it in the dirt, you see it in the skies, you see it around you in the people, where the language is coming from, where your identity is coming from. Here, there, everywhere around the planet. And we can transfer that with just the telephone. Ain't that amazing? So yes, the internet, YouTube, Facebook, all these communication technologies are changing the planet like no other technology ever have been able to. And this is the beginning. This is the beginning. So take care of it. Transfer the correct information. Do not allow people to tell you that you are a loser because people don't listen to you. No, you are not a loser. You are not losing. Leave a trail behind you, telling people, generations who follow, the correct data, who you really are. Just tell them. Remember, the verb the humans utilize the most and fear the most: war. In Castilian is guerra. In Italian is guerra. In French is guerra. In Portuguese is guerra. But in Latin is bellum. Hopefully this helped to clarify who you are and where your language is from and how the language is controlled. And do not allow no one to create new terms to convince you that you are not who you are. Saludos.